Hi, everybody. Here I am entering into your space. I haven't made a video in quite some while. I've had a few snags in health, but today I am good. And so I decided I want to make a movie, make me a movie. And so here I am with yarn. And what I'm going to make today is one of these little scrubbies. This is a scrubbie. It's made with scrubby yarn. Where did I put that here? See, it's called Scrubby Cotton. Scrubby Cotton by Red Heart is this yarn that I'm using. But then I'm also using a roll of, this is, I don't have the label for this, but it's, I think it's called Peaches and Cream. It's a cotton yarn. Now this one, these two here, I made with the cotton yarn and the scrubby yarn together. This one here I made with two strands of the scrubby yarn. So this is more of a exfoliating type of a little uh, scrubby thingy. These ones that when I do them with the scrubby yarn and the cotton yarn, they're a little bit more absorbent, and so these are so nice for washing dishes. But washing dishes or exfoliating on your skin, either way, either one is like so perfect. And so I'm just going to show you how I do this, and I'm sure that there is a 6 jillion videos on how to do it. But I'm just going to show you anyway, just for something to do. And so I use two strands of yarn together. And I use this small loom. It's 24 pegs on this loom. And that's what I use. And so I first make just a little slip knot here to put on the little peg that's on the side of the loom, just to hold, and that's put there to hold the um the yarn. Now all of them I've noticed, because I have one that doesn't have this little knob on the end, and so then you can just tie it onto the actual rim. If you have one of those without the knob, you can just tie it there and then untie it later, because we're going to untie that from there and leave it just hang after a while. And then I'm going to just start doing, I think they call this just a E-wrap. And so I'm going to start E-wrapping it, is where you just go around the peg. And I'm going to E-wrap all the way around. So see, the showing of the wrapping is in, you only see the outside of the wrap on the outside, and then you see the inside of the wrap on the inside. So you want it always to be like that. And so I'm just going to wrap that all the way around. This here apparatus is like the most awesome thing that you can use. Very well worth the money to buy these little I have another one, but Lord knows I don't know where it is. I have two of them, but these are absolutely wonderful to hold. But then this is a yarn bowl here, and these are nice too, to hold your yarn and to keep your yarn from just flying all over the place. I mean, you can use just an old coffee can or anything else to put your yarn in, but I'm just a little fancy here. I don't like a lot of fanciness in my life, so I don't have the fancy clothes and the fancy such as things like that. So um, I do like to have um, my little accessories for a yard and stuff, that makes things a little bit more handy and a little bit more fun, and they're just pretty. So now I'm going around 2 times. I went around already once. Now I'm going around again with a second time on this E-wrap. So now I have went around 2 times with the E-wrap. So on every peg, there's 2 wraps on every peg. See that? Okay, so now I'm just going to put that yarn over there and just hold it with my thumb. But now I use my, this is a hook that is made for doing any work on your loom. Now see, I went around this way, this way, you know, what I was wrapping. But when I start actual doing the knit stitch, I like to go the other way, and I don't know why that is, except for one thing. Since this was my last peg that I wrapped, it kind of locks it right in there. And then I just kind of keep going around that way, and I take the bottom loop, the bottom, actually it's 2, you're picking up 2 yarns because you're using the 2 yards as one, and you just flip it over to the top, over the top of the hoop, the loop, the loom, you know, to to yeah, to yeah, and that's actually knitting. So we're going to knit every stitch. You can do knit and purl on this thing too, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just doing the knit stitch. And this is a very simple stitch to work on your loom. And these are just the nicest things. In fact, my daughter, when I was over to my daughter's house Christmas Eve, we went over there for a little Christmas celebration, and while she was washing the dishes, she says, "Mama, by the way, I'm gonna need a new one of these scrubbies because mine is getting kind of worn out." She's used it for a year because I gave it to her last year Christmas time, and so now I did that whole row now that quickly, and I'm going to E-wrap again all the way around. And I always start at the peg that's just south of the peg on the outside, you know, the holding peg. I don't know that I have all the right words when I tell you what I'm doing, but it's close enough for me. And I'm going to go all the way around again. And each time you go around, then you're going to knit each one of those. So you go around again until all 24 of those pegs, which now you don't have to use one this size. You can make a bigger one, and they even have a smaller one than this, but this here works out as a really good size, I think. And so then I can pull this piece off of the peg now and just pull that piece of yarn, pull it down below, get it out of the way. Well, maybe I can get it. Well, anyway, I'm gonna put it there now, and then now I'll start knitting this one as well. Sometimes when maybe you should go a couple more rows before you pull that off so that it's easier to get it. And so always, for some reason, that first stitch is kind of hard to pull over, and but then they all go over just nicely. Take the bottom 2 strands and flip them over. The bottom 2 strands, because then when you go around again E-wrapping, then this top row will actually then be the bottom row. So I hope everybody had a nice holiday. Papa and I had a very quiet Christmas day, but Christmas Eve we were over at our daughter's house, and my daughter and the family was over there. Quite a bit of family was there, and it was so nice. And while we were there, they had on the movie. It's a Netflix movie that's called a Boy Called Christmas. Well, I didn't get to see much of the movie because we were still talking and talking, but then I thought, well, there now I can get that pulled through. I said, I want to see that movie. I just to see little pieces of it. So I didn't have Netflix here at home, but um, then I checked and I said, "Oh, Netflix! I can have Netflix for $6.99 a month." I just got um, the smallest deal, And I thought, well, I'm going to do that because I like to watch a movie while while I'm doing something like this, and so I went ahead and subscribed, and then I watched that whole movie, and oh my gosh, what an adorable movie! Um, I guess it's made for children, but I'm going through my second childhood, so hey, it was perfect to watch. If you haven't watched A Boy Called Christmas, boy, was that good. And so, but when you're doing something like this, why then it's nice to have a movie on in the background, and you can be watching a movie while you do something like this. And I'm spending a lot more time now sitting in a easy chair, which my children bought me I call it my electric chair. They bought a recliner that does all the work for you. It has remote controls, and one of the remote controls will lift it reclines you all the way back and puts your feet up for you, and then it will unrecline you and actually boost you right out of the chair. I find it very hard to get out of chairs lately because of the universal joint is going or something in this old carcass of a body. And so that chair is just so helpful, and I do need to keep my legs elevated as much as possible. So I'm going to be doing a lot more handiwork such as this now that I have my chair, and I already feel a difference in my legs because I do have um, a problem with water retention in my legs, and it was getting so bad that I was getting like huge blisters, water blisters around my ankles, and then when they pop, then I've got a huge, like a open wound on my ankle. So I have made a couple changes. And one is to definitely keep my legs elevated a lot and drinking a lot less liquid. Well, I have it's I have I am old, so things start going crap when you get old, and so I have like kidney failure too. So, but it's not bad. It's stage 3, which there's 5 stages, and I'm only at stage 3. So, trying to keep it from getting any worse. And so I'm also diabetic. So when you're diabetic, you're always thirsty. And so I have been drinking way more than I should because I'm always thirsty. So I drink a lot of water. But I am now slowing down on what I drink, and I already find that it's helping a whole lot. And so since I'll be in my chair, I can't be without doing things. So I got a nice table right beside my chair, or I should say, I put my chair right next to um, a nice table that I can have my things. I could watch videos on my what do you call that machine? Some kind of apparatus. The heck? Well, I can't remember. It's like a It's not a laptop. It's a Kindle. Kindle, and I can watch. I can put a video on the Kindle, a movie, and I can watch a movie. I have to quit watching so many DIY videos because then I want to do everything that I see done. I say, oh, I want to do that and I want to do that, which I am going to do a lot of the things that I've seen on the DIY videos too. But I like to just watch a video, um, a little movie while I'm doing something like this. And I want to get a lot of these made because, well, for family needs more. And then, maybe I can sell some of them when I do my first of the month sales each month because I'm gonna continue to do those first day of the month each first day of the month that I do a little sale. It's mostly like a destashing sale, and which it gives me and Papa just a little bit more spending money. Just spending money. We have enough money every month to survive well. And just this year, just now, we both get Social Security, and so this year they made I don't know 8.7% increase, and so between the two of us, we have quite a nice increase for it'll probably pay for our groceries, and so which is good too. So that's a blessing right there. And so, but when I do a sale, then I have a little extra in case I want to buy yarn or I want to buy a little tool like the yarn bowl or the spindle or something. Then I have, and like these things, I keep losing them, so I have to buy them by the dozen. And well, I don't buy them by the dozen, but usually you can buy like four for one price or something. They're around this house somewhere. Probably fell down in the couch cushions or something. But see, so I just e-wrap a whole wrap on there, and then I and then just and then I go all 24 pegs, and I just do that. Just get that, and I do this now until I get about. I don't count the amount of rows, but I just measure, so sort of eyeball it is all I do until I think I have enough. And I usually go about 5 inches, which probably would be about 15 rows, 18 rows, something like that. And see, when you make this, like this is about 5 inches across, so that's about how big then the finished um, the scrubby will be. And so I go with about 5 inches of fabric, so that this is like 5 inches, and that usually that's about the size. I don't know if that's exactly correct in the directions of whoever invented these, but it works for me, so that's good. And so, waiting to hear from my son. Bless his heart. My son, Skeeter, some of you know him. He lives in Arizona. Well, his son, my grandson, they're going to move to Arizona and hopefully just make a new start on over there. So my son, to help out his son, which family helps family as much as possible. My son had a tractor, And so he sold his tractor to make enough money to fly over here from Arizona to Florida and then be able to have the money enough to pay to buy gas because they're taking two cars. My grandson has a car and his wife has a car, and they packed everything into the cars that they need to take to start for their new start. And then my son, Skeeter flying, but he had a layover in Atlanta. And so a layover, and then it was supposed to catch another plane to Tampa. And then my grandson Timmy was going to go pick him up from Tampa. Well, by the time Skeeter got to Atlanta, they canceled the flight that was supposed to go from Atlanta to Tampa. And so then I've never flown before, so I know nothing about the airlines. But I guess they could just flat out cancel a flight anytime they want to for whatever reason. Well, they canceled. There's been a lot of flights, I guess, lately that has been canceled. And so then he is just stuck up there in Atlanta. So he got there day before yesterday, Wednesday. Wednesday he got up there and he was supposed to have a 5 hour layover in Atlanta, um, but his 5 hours now has turned into 2 days, and but he doesn't know how the heck he's gonna get here, and so I guess I don't know. Me, I haven't heard from him. I This morning I asked him on a message to see if there's any change, and all he said was no, he's still in Atlanta, and my Atlanta, I'm telling you. And so, but see, if everything was going to go as planned, I mean, he was just going to get here, and then they were going to get in the cars and start driving to Arizona, and they were hoping like by now they'd be in Arizona almost, at least 2/3 of the way, but they have this snafu. I'm telling you, there's things will happen sometime that really test your faith. I'm telling you. So hopefully they've gotten something. I'm trying not to be concerned about it because I can't help. There's nothing I can do, and so except send up a couple of prayers. And but then I googled some news about plane cancellations and stuff, and they showed in many airports there are so many cancellations of flights right now. Some due to weather, and some due to I don't know what. And because between Atlanta and Tampa, there shouldn't be like weather. I wouldn't think it's cold, but it's not like ice and stuff. I don't think. I don't know. And so hopefully they're adult. My son is 54 years old, so they're like all adultish and stuff, and they should be able to do this stuff. And so hopefully everything is getting straightened out. But it does cause you worry. I think you don't ever quit worrying about your children just because they're like old. And so, but anyway, here I am just running my mouth about other things. But I'm showing you how I'm making my little scrubbie. And so, but we keep doing this until we get about 5 inches of knitted fabrics done, and then I'm going to show you. Just hang on a minute. I'm just going to do one more row on this one, and then I got another one that I have. So yeah, we'll get this, and but everything is going good. And even though it seems like I'm complaining about my health and about my son and his predicament, I'm not complaining because things happen in life. Just things happen, and then when you start getting old, um, things in your things still start getting rusty and whatnot, and so it's just kind of natural that things are going to. You just can't do as much when you get old. You just can't do as much as you did when you was just a spring chicken, and so it's just one of those things that goes along with life. And so we accept it day by day. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, so now I got that. And now right now I've only got about through 2.5 inches on there. So, but for time's sake, I'm gonna put this right over here. I'm gonna scoot these over here, and I got this one. And then I've got another little thing going on here. This is the same thing as the little spindle, but this is so nice, especially when I do loom knitting, that it holds. Now this one I've got to about 5 inches. I'm gonna put one more row on this, and then I'm gonna show you what I do to finish it up. So I'm gonna go here with I'm just gonna do one more row on here, and then I'm gonna show you what I do to do the finishing up part of this project. So, and by the time I'm done with this, I'll probably be ready to go into my chair again and maybe put on another movie to watch and make another few of these. And I also, when I do my hats, I do most of my hats, I do on a loom bigger than this. I use these little circle looms for quite a bit of things. You can make just a flat scarf on these things too, but on them you just don't keep going around and around. You go around and then back and then around and then back, and so then you just end up with a flat piece like a scarf. So then I've been working on my double-ended crochet. It's crow knit is what it's called. I'm making a blanket, and so I'm working on that too a lot, which I'm glad that I'm doing that, because that's been sitting still for a while. I'm working on that a bit, and day after Christmas, I have to. It's kind of sad news. Is we lost one of our little dogs. We have Zoe and Oliver, sister and brother, and we've had them for 16 years. And Zoe was getting a little bit, she was we could see that she was getting toward the end. And so 3 o'clock in the morning on the day after Christmas, I was holding her in my arms, and she took her last breath. Sigh of relief that she was getting to go over the Rainbow Bridge. And so now Oliver, her brother, he's just crying and crying and crying. Bless his heart. I wish there was something more I could do for him. Which we do give him extra snacks. We give him his snack and Zoe's snack. Okay, so now I have about 5 inches of fabric done on this. And so I'm going to turn that bottom up here. And what I'm going to do, get that bottom up. And I'm going to start putting along the initial part of where you first started. Then you can see the loops there. So you put a loop over. Take one of them loops and put it over the peg. And then after you put that first one on, then the rest of them just kind of pop up there just like they know what they're doing. And so you'll just go all the way around now by taking that bottom loop and putting that bottom loop over the peg, over the next peg. So you can see where that bottom loop is there, so you just take that and put it over the next peg. And you keep doing that all the way around. And now you're doubling. What you're doing is you're doubling the thickness of your scrubbie. And so we'll just keep going around with these. And until we got them all hooked up on their little pegs. And then once, one more there. That last one's kind of hard to snitch, and so I'll just use my hook. Get that over there. Now I've got two wraps on each one. Well, actually 4 because you got double yarns. But now we got them. So now we're going to knit each one of those. So then we'll just start knitting each one of those. Take that bottom one and put it over the top one, over the peg, which then that leaves you with just the one loop on the hook. And so now you're going to go all the way around all 24 of those pegs. These do not take much time at all, and you actually can get quite a few made out of just a little bit of yarn. They don't take much yarn, and so we're going to get them. I'll hop them up over the peg. Oops. Let's get them all hopped over. I just heard digging on my phone over there, so it might be my son, I don't know. And we're just about around here. And I think we've got it. Okay, now, so now all of those are knitted. Now you have a double. This is all a double piece. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, I'm going to wrap. I'm going to take, to measure how much yarn I need for finishing, I just wrapped this around 2 times. And then I cut that yarn off. Okay, and then you need like a tapestry needle or a plastic, you know, the plastic needles, big old eye in that sucker. And then you want to thread that in there into that needle. Yeah, let's get that in there, Elizabeth. And there we go. Okay, I got that threaded in there. Now, so now I got that threaded in there. And so now what I'm going to do is right where that starts, I still have that little piece hanging here that I had at first tied to the peg. Now what I'm going to do right there, I'm going to start going. Then you see each loop. I'm going to get that and just go through that. Just go through each loop. Go to the next peg. And keep going till you get all of those loops threaded onto, I just got that around not let that happen. Let's get each one of those on there. If y'all are Netflix watchers, since I'm a new at Netflix, if you have any suggestions of something awesome to watch that doesn't have any evil and blood in it, I don't watch like blood. I can't watch blood, and so I like videos that movies that like take place back in the 1800s and stuff like that. I love stuff like that. I like other stuff too, but I'm just getting into this movie watching stuff. It's my new thing to keep me occupied while I do handiwork like this. So let's see, I've almost gotten around here, and then you'll see how simple it is to finish these up. And these are nice to have for a little gift. A little gift to give. I don't want my threads, my yarn to jump over to that other side. I want it to stay on the outside. And so we're almost there. We're almost there. Arthritic fingers makes it a little bit harder to do things than before arthritis. But then arthritis is another one of those things that just kind of is part of aging. So we don't complain. We just work along with it. Okay, now I've almost got to where I started. So I'm going to there we go, one more stitch right here. And then I've gotten all the way around. Now I can take it off the needle. And so now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hang on just a second. Okay, so now I run that string all the way around. So now the next step is to take it off of the loom. So we're finished with the loom part. So then here we'll just go with each one of those stitches that are still on the loom, and we'll just pull them off. Just flop them off. Just flip flop them right on off of there. I'm going to also, using the crow knit method, I'm going to make some dishcloths as well, so that I can have like a set of a dishcloth and the scrubbie to go with it. Now, crow knitting is it's a mixture between crochet and knit, and you have a crochet hook that has got a hook on both ends. Now, some people want to call it Tunisian crochet, but Tunisian crochet is actually a hook with a stopper on the end, and it's to use just one skeiny yarn. But the crow knitting, you use two different colors of yarn, so there is a difference. But okay, now I've got it all off of there, and then here's my the, the threads, the yarns that I just pulled all the way through, and so we're going to now take. Okay, these threads are the ones that I had tied on at the beginning. Now, so then we want to just gently kind of start pulling that thread that we just, the yarn that we just pulled, that we just stitched all the way through. And we're just going to pull it tight to the middle. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get it real tight in there. For me anyway, not for your normal human. But we kind of want to get that gathered up right into the center. Just hold it. Okay, so now I still have those little two strings that I had where I had first tied it to put the slip knot and tied it to the knob on the end. Now I'm going to take those two and just tie them in a good tight knot. Use a square knot. That's good. My friend, I have a friend, Lorraine, she showed me if you go around twice when you go to do your knots, they hold much better. And so I've been doing that ever since she told me that. And so then there, that is actually finished. We'll cut. Now this looks like it's a lot of waste yarn then, and so but don't throw it away. You can use that um, extra yarn, and you can make like a little tassel on something, and that will be pretty. You can make a little tassel. And so just save those and don't think you're wasting because you're really not. And there we go. We've got the little scrubbie. We got the little scrubbie, and there it is. That's all done. And so, and then maybe I'll do a. See there, I got 4 of them made. I made all these today. These were all today. So, and that's not making them steady either. It's just took my time. But these are nice. They turn out to be about 5 inches in diameter, and they're great for washing your dishes. I have a dishwasher, but I don't ever use it. Actually, I got some things stored in my dishwasher. I run it every once in a while just so it gets used. But I like washing dishes myself. Well, actually, my husband likes to too. Well, he doesn't really like to. I don't know if he likes to. They just have to be done, and we just kind of share the joy of washing dishes. But these work so good for washing your dishes, I think, in my own humble opinion. And so, yeah, so I'll finish this one up too, and I'll find me another movie to watch. And let's see what we can find something to read here. I'm going to read from. Now, lately I've been needing to read this book, You Are Stronger Than You Know. There's so much wisdom in this book. Words of hope and encouragement for someone living with a chronic illness. And most of us are living with the chronic illness of aging. And so, and so there's a lot of good stuff in this book. As you can see, it's kind of worn slam out. Let's see. Let's see what this one here says. This one says, draw strength from yourself and your surroundings. So I'm going to, I always need a bookmark too. This is a card I got in the mail today from my friend Patty. She made a card. I got my 2 dogs, Oliver and Zoe. I got them from Patty. Patty had them, but she had allergies to them. So right after she got them, she realized the allergies. And so I let her know when Zoe crossed over. And so she made this little card. And look at how pretty that is. But she's like, she does really, really good. And then here she wrote Zoe on her little heart there. It says so sorry here in her. She got inking on there. She made the rainbow bridge. Thinking of you, know that I care. She says, thank you for giving Zoe a wonderful life. They were so lucky to have you. Give Oliver a squeeze from us. Love you, Patty and Roger. So I got that in the mail today. That was so special that she sent me that card. That was nice. Okay, but here, draw strength from yourself and your surroundings. When the challenges seem so much greater than your strength, you may wonder how you will get through this day or even this hour. At times like this, you need to look back to past trials and tribulations that you have gone through and survived. Remember them? The same strength that enabled you to get through those earlier storms is still within you. Reach down deep and draw from that wellspring. Allow it to replenish your soul. Borrow strength from others, those warriors who have already fought and won the battles you are struggling with today. Rejoice in their victories. They are with you in spirit. Draw strength from those who are with you in the battle today, for none of us truly walk alone. Draw strength from the good things in your life, from the simplest to the greatest. Whether it's a pretty little flower, a kind word from a friend, a walk in your favorite place, or even a sunset. Draw strength from anything good that touches your your heart or your day. Draw strength from those who love you, those who make your life richer by being a part of your days, those who will be there for you not only on sunny days but also on the cloudy ones, and those who will hold you in the storms of life. Have faith in yourself, draw strength from your faith, and know in your heart that just as before, this time will pass because you have strength for today. That was written by Nancy Sims. That is very good. I don't know if I've read that one before. And but draw strength from yourself and your surroundings, and even your memories. There's a lot of strength um, you can pull from your memories. Like um, we've all been. I'm 73 now, so I've been through a lot in my life. I've been through some things that I wondered if I'd ever get through. And but I did. I got through them. And so I can think back to those things that I did get through. And and that gives me strength today to get, I was feeling sorry for myself a little bit because I can't do what I used to could do. I have to have my legs elevated some. I have to eat right to make sure because I can live with kidney failure the rest of my, well, of course I'll live with the rest of my life, but a long time, as long as I eat right and follow the directions of the physician, and I can do that. I don't have to feel sorry for myself. I don't have to say poor me because it's not poor me. And so many people don't have what I have. I have so much. I have such a beautiful family. Sometimes they drive me insane. And if I was a drinking person, I'd probably have to be totally inebriated to make it through the day some days with this family of mine that they're so crazy. They're just as crazy as I am. I'm the one that raised my kids, so I'm the only one to blame. But anyway, I draw strength from that, and like I just like I said, we spent Christmas Eve with my family, with my our daughter at her house and family, and it was such a good time. I didn't really want to go. I didn't really want to go because I don't like leaving my house. But I am so glad that I did go and I did get to spend time with my family. And and there was so much laughing going on over there. So much laughing. It was wonderful. I mean, there was ages from my youngest granddaughter's a year and a half, bless her heart. Oh my gosh, she's got so much energy. Up until the eldest one was Papa, who is 77, almost 78 now. But we had a wonderful time. In that 4 hours, I guess we were over there, 4 or 5 hours we were over there. And but I can draw so much strength just from being there with a family, with beautiful people. So I'm not going to keep you any longer than this. I'm going to put my book right back over here on this little shelf. And thank you all for watching till the end. You guys are great. And these are a simple thing to make. If you don't do crocheting or knitting, but you have a loom like this, there's so much that you can do with yarn. And there's, just so much. And it's very simple. And like I said, I use the scrubby cotton, which is it's just a rough. It's like the threads in it are just like they're all lumpy, which makes it a scrubby cotton. So, and then I use that along with, I mean, you can use two scrubby cottons, or I use one regular cotton and one scrubby cotton together. I like to do it that way. And so I ask God to watch over you every step you take and every move you make, and bring you back to this next video. Hopefully it's not too long before I do another one. I know it's been a while, but I ask God to keep you safe and keep you healthy and hearty and humble. Always stay humble. Enjoy the simple things in life. God bless you all. Thank you for watching.